gun. I'm gonna need just a second here, fellas. Ugh. What am I seeing here? Oh, I've made a huge mistake. Can I reorient the camera? Shoot. You guys are witnessing insanity. All right. sound now. You guys are true fans, just sitting in. It might be a little worse sound because I didn't turn the mics on before, so they won't connect. All right, well, we're running with it. Thank you, Iceman. Welcome to the stream, guys. If you didn't hear any of that, enjoy. All right, I want to do the Obsidian. I want to do that soon, but you're gonna have to bear with me because there's one thing I want more. I've got an MP600 here. I'm gonna pop this apart real quick. Let me just slide everything out of the way, throw it on the mat, because there's something I want to tease here. This is a very early pre-release options, but we're working on professional series of wrenches, which will be, I don't know how much you can see. These are similar to our, like here's the forelobe. So these are similar to our little guys, but our little guys are a little bigger or a little smaller. I don't know. They're double-ended. But these pro wrenches give you a lot more leverage. And the best part is that because they have this backing on here, you can't slip through the screw and down to the tool. So it's a lot easier to work with. And we've got them in every size, and there'll be replaceable inserts here that you can get a little bit cheaper. So if you're doing a ton of multi-tools disassembly and reassembly, absolutely think these are going to be killer. Still working on a couple of details. You see the screws are still proud. We're working on that stuff. There'll be a dipped handle. And yeah, so that's a very early preview of our Pro Series of wrenches. But if you're going to do a couple of tools, I recommend you go with our standard because they'll be a little cheaper. But then when you want to do a lot more, you go with the pros. So I got a full set there to test out, confirm everything works. We're going to take our time on those just to make sure everything runs smooth. Serge, welcome back. Iceman, welcome. Welcome back. Have you been on before? Good to see you either way. So I'm popping this guy apart, and then we're going to get to try out, for the first time ever on camera, the Gerber 4-lobe Pro wrench. Takes a little bit getting used to the feel. Does it drop in? Yep, it drops in. Oh, that's so nice. Our Pro wrenches also have a little bit, they're a little bit lower profile around the screw. Serge, if you want the Arc, got affiliate links down below. Oh, no, we don't. We got Blade HQ links down below. Oh, gosh. $320 for the Arc in Europe. That's crazy. I think $275 is crazy for the Arc Obsidian, but I'm sure people will want those parts. So I had to jump on the bandwagon there. But $320 US, 300 euros. Jesus. That's wild. Ooh, there we go. Yeah, these longer handles make it so much easier to take apart these things. I remember when I was in college, about 10 years ago, I would go to Home Depot on Black Friday, and I would almost every year buy a Sidekick or a Wingman, and they'd be in a kit usually. I think they used to come with the Style CS, or they'd come with one of those carabiner tools or something like that, and it'd be like, I want to say it was like 30 bucks. And now you can't, now the rev is, I think, 50. It is wild. But we keep buying them, so who can blame them? I'm having a little trouble here. Is that still not coming? I only have one of the Gerber wrenches, so I'm just going to put one of my old guys on the back because it's spinning on me now. There we go. There we go. Okay, so that's a quick look at the new Pro wrenches. Pop this guy apart, and then I'm going to need to take this hoodie off because I'm sweating up a storm. All right, we'll do the Arc Obsidian next, just to see. I'm sure it's identical to the Arc, but we've got to find out for sure, don't we? We've got to find out for sure. We'll get this guy put apart. I know I got a couple of parts here that need to go. Need to get pulled right away. I oversold a couple of parts, so if you're still waiting on this, I apologize. Every once in a while, our inventory system gets off a couple of units here or there. And I always kick myself. Let's see, Gerber. Yeah, I mean, it's tough to, when you start talking about different markets, the European market versus the US market. You have, I mean, just that importing is going to add to your cost. But it is kind of a bummer. I would love to see someone get some of the Leatherman stuff in Europe for a more reasonable price. The issue I have is we only sell to Europe. We only sell out of the US via the eBay International Shipping Program. And for whatever reason, almost all of the parts we sell cannot go because they are, I think eBay looks at it and says, oh, it's part of a knife, so we can't sell that, which is unfortunate because, you know, most of it's not a knife. But I understand from a liability perspective, eBay doesn't want to send anything that could be a knife or is categorized with a knife overseas. So then a lot of our stuff gets stopped. And unfortunately, I don't have the time or the expertise to go, well, this is how it needs to be categorized for the EU. This is how it needs to get categorized for, say, Canada. I just can't go through every single item and make sure it's correct. So we tend not to be able to sell a lot of our multi-tool parts overseas. We do still sell our wrenches and stuff go over there, no problem, because they're categorized as tools and you don't have the same issues. And I've done a couple of checks with the shipping, and I think usually you can get to the EU for about 15 US dollars. I don't, which would what, like 11, I don't know euros that well. I know pounds better. We have a supplier in the UK, but let's jump into this Arc Obsidian. It's a nice touch. They do have the black pocket screws. And here's the champagne pocket clip. I'm sure that's gonna be a hot seller. I was looking through, and Zap Wizard was talking about doing an all blacked out version. And I was looking at how that might be done. You can do it with the screws. You can add the screws from a regular Arc as well as the blade. These screws here and the locking tabs are going to be something that has to be probably painted or something like that. the Arc Obsidian's not for sale in Europe. If, dude, I don't want to pitch ideas here, but somebody needs to buy a bunch of Arcs retail and get them into Europe so people can buy them. That's absurd. I mean, it seems absurd. You spent all this time launching a new tool, and I know you don't want, you know, they had issues with certain things selling out. I think the Arc didn't sell out when it was launched. So I know we're having issues with supply chain for Leatherman. I know they're not keeping up with demand in certain ways, but it seems a shame to just eliminate. And I'm sure if the EU doesn't get them, I'm sure Australia's not getting them. I'm sure there's a lot of places that aren't getting them. You know, Leatherman Asia, do they have an Asian distribution network? I would assume. But that's really too bad. Can you guys get the standard Arc there, Iceman? Is it just the Obsidian that's not available? Just another interesting perspective. These screws, the threads are all kind of standard Arcs. Oh yeah, you told me, yeah, 300 euros. I forgot. Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy, man. And I feel like as I've started to run this shop and stuff, I start to lose perspective. I want to be very clear. $275 for the Leatherman Arc Obsidian is absurd. It's absurd. I'm sure I'm posting about it on YouTube. It's cool to look at. I get it. I love blacked out tools. $275 is ridiculous, though. I have the benefit of, you know, running a business where I get to handle these things and deal with them, which is fun and neat. And I always get, you know, cool stuff coming through the shop. But it's not like I carry this stuff. You know, I'll carry an Arc when I need to test it. When I need to test a product or something. I'm not carrying these things all the time. I don't get an Arc just because I run a shop. But if Leatherman's listening and wants to send me a free Arc, you know I'd be down with that. So, oh, the spring bars are also champagne. Champagne. Free's not available. Hey, speaking of Leatherman Free, I posted a link down below for anyone in the US to Amazon. They have Leatherman Free P4s back in stock, which is something that goes back and forth. I've heard 100 times it's discontinued, but for the last 6 months, every couple of months, I'm able to get a handful. Oh, I put that in the wrong spot. So if you're in the market, I missed out on the Leatherman Crunch because I didn't believe it was discontinued, and I'll kick myself for a long time. If you guys are in the market, don't go buy it just because it's there. But if you're in the market and you wanted a free P4, I would probably recommend you grab one before they sell out on Amazon, because we don't know when they're going to come back. There's a lot of people saying it's discontinued. I don't think anyone has confirmation of that, as far as I'm aware. But I'm not a journalist. I just hang out in the community. I'm not trying to break news, but if you're looking for one, I'd jump on it. Almost lost that little plastic guy. Lock tabs are all champagne. You can see can you see that? Where they're wearing through a little bit? Because this is, I mean, the champagne color's got to be a coating, a plating of some sort for a lot of these. I think on the blade it's, is it Cerakote? What is it? Might be a different coating. I'm not 100% sure. DVA, somebody say? But it is cool to have these all in black. This is going to be exciting. So I'm disassembling this. I actually have no idea where I'm putting all these parts because I do not have the room right now. Or I don't have any prepped. Probably should have thought this through. What we're going to do, because we got to get photos of this for the website. So let's get all of this in here. And that was the reason I kept the extra one. Where is it? Doesn't matter. There it is. The reason I kept that extra one is so I can make sure I display these in the right order and everything. Again, I assume it's like the standard Arc. It looks, I mean, there's nothing that stood out as, oh, that's different. But we need somebody to put out some pocket or some black screws to cover the holes. Or I guess you can go with the Volti. Does the Volti have or what is it? Is it the Volti? I have not gotten my hands on these products, so I'm a little unfamiliar. But the little flashlight you can put on here, does that have the? Do they have blackout version yet? Is what I'm trying to say. But I'm getting distracted. Did they change the bad cutters? All right. Let me find my soapbox because I need to get up on it. Did they change the bad cutters? Let's find out first of all. Here is, hey, I'll grab the full one. You can really see the dust from the box. It's just the white paper boxes or inserts that they use. If I understand your question correctly, they did not change the bad cutters. There is, can you see? Let me stand up and, oh yeah, you can see there's still a gap there. There's still a gap there. I'm going to say, though, on the record, in the safe space that this channel is, that that's not actually that big of an issue. Those cutters will cut through the same stuff they would. It just so happens that when they released the Arc initially, they had some issues. I think it was a thickness issue. I kind of speculated that it might be a heat treating issue, which of course could be the case. If your blades are a little bit thinner, they're going to heat up differently. They were brittle and they cracked. They did fix that. But at that time, everyone's looking really closely at the cutters, and hey, they have a little gap down there. And people were speculating that that gap is what caused it. That gap came before the issue. So there's older Surge models I have that gap. There's a lot of old tools that have that gap. They've been doing it for a couple of years before the Arc came out. So when I see that gap, I don't see it as a problem. I know there's a lot of people that hate it and want, yeah, the Wave has it. So it's on all of, I mean, it's on every new tool, the gap. But there's a lot of people that want to get rid of that gap. To me, I don't know if I need to demo this or not, but when I put a piece of wire in there, a hard, you know, if I'm going to cut something hard, I'm going to put it in, close the pliers a little bit, and pull up on the thing, and it'll catch right at the top of that hard wire cutter. That's how I cut things. That's how I've always cut them. But I get it. You don't, you know, you want to do it blindly and push down and close, and it's not going to cut through all your hard wire if you do that. I get it. I just don't see that issue as catastrophic in my use cases. Because again, this is a Leatherman. This is not for the heaviest of duty work. I speculate again that they did that change for a reason. Not been able to get a straight answer on that, so it is what it is. But I don't know. I don't know that it's the end of the world. But they do have that, the quote-unquote bad wire cutters. Sorry, I'm not calling you out, Iceman. I've just seen a lot of kind of rampant speculation on those wire cutters. And aside from the issue at the Arc's launch with brittle wire cutters, I mean, they've been fine. Like, I've cut through plenty of, if I had my own arc here, I would go cut through some brass to demo it. They work fine. But I did need mine replaced. And that kind of speaks to me, that speaks to Leatherman's warranty service here in the US at least, where, you know, I had an issue. I reached out to them. They said, hey, we got you. They sent me a fresh pair of cutters with a Torx bit, and I swapped them out right then and there. It was plenty simple to do. So when you have that kind of warranty, it's cool to see it backed up. And that's why I won't complain about the gap, you know, because it's not causing that many issues except in those that bad batch. And of course, that bad batch went to the first buyers of the Arc, which happened to be a lot of YouTubers, myself included, that watched them get destroyed in front of their eyes. Thanks for joining, everybody. If you're new to the channel, we post some EDC stuff and hang around. Just plowing through a few Leatherman Arcs right now. We've got, I got about, what I ordered 5, I think, from Blade HQ. Well, I ordered 10, but 5 were a mistake. Ordered 10 from Blade HQ, got those in. We're going to take apart 2 today, probably 2 or 3 next week, depending on how fast they move. And really exciting, we got the Arc Obsidian in. Got one dismantled already. We're gonna take pictures of it hopefully today. And then I gotta go through the listing process is a bit of a pain, so it might be a couple of days before you see those available on the website, but we will get them out to you. I know, Serge, if you're still in the chat, I know you're waiting on that sheath. It took me last week, kind of got out of hand, and I didn't get around to. What am I missing? I didn't get around to getting those posted last week, but we will have one sheath available soon. I don't know if you guys have seen those. Let me make sure my hands are clean. The new Arc sheath, I do like the look of that. I like the kind of classic style. This is my this was my grandpa's what is it, PST? Yeah, PST. And I love that super simple sheath. If this had the gold lettering, ooh, that would be fire. But I like this. I like this new sheath. It's a little, it's not, I mean, Leatherman's not known for their super, super high quality sheaths, but I assume it will hold an arc pretty well. Hey, let's drop one in. Well, I assumed it would hold an arc. Has anyone tried this on camera yet? Oh, okay. I got a little worried. So not as much gap as on the big boy. The sheath that comes with the Arc, the standard Arc, has got a lot more room up top. This one doesn't. I mean, I can't get a finger in there, but pretty compact, pretty nice sheath. It'll hold. I think it'll hold the bit kit in here as well. It's got a pocket there. Showed this. I shot a quick video the night this came in because I wanted to. I was too excited. I couldn't wait to open it. So, anywho. Yeah, I got you, Serge. Heritage sheath. Yeah, I don't have any of those, I don't think. I have a... This is... Oh, I started saving one of each sheath because people ask questions about what fits in what. That's not a Heritage. Do I have a Heritage? I don't think I have a Heritage. Maybe I should just buy one. Might have duplicates in here. This is just my... This is my sheath bin. Some old ones. I'll miss that one. I used to have a lot of these ones, these Velcro ones. Destroyed them. Yeah. Classics. All right, that's got to go away. We got to get work done, Zach. Quit getting distracted. Yeah, I wondered if it was close. I think I've seen the Heritage. I do like the look. Glad to see them do it in black. It used to be, my EDC used to be all blacked out, which is cool, but then you lose a little bit of that charm as I turn into an old man, which I know I'm not, but I kind of enjoy those more vintage aesthetics. So we probably won't get through all of these live on the stream. I'm going to have to break for lunch here in a wee bit. But appreciate you guys jumping on. That does not belong here. Yeah, I do like, I might have to, you guys are talking me into this Heritage Sheath. Trying to think of what tools I carry the most, because it changes for testing. It's one of the reasons I do like having a good selection of sheaths, because, you know, you want to carry different stuff. Keep it fresh. I've got to carry, you know, certain times I have to carry stuff even if I don't want to, just to test it out. So the one I've been doing a lot of testing with the Arc since it came out, and I've got Zap Wizard's sheath with the clip. That it's hard to beat the ease of use with that Zap Wizard sheath. It is, I don't have it here, but it is something else. Do recommend it if you're into that style of carry. But then otherwise, I tend to go to the leather sheaths. And the thing I hate, and you see it with the Arc sheath, is the that extra height. It's just too much. You don't need that much height on a sheath. I want it compact, because I'm already kind of hesitant to strap on a multi-tool, believe it or not. So if I'm gonna do it, it's gotta be compact and tight to the hip, so I'm not rubbing into stuff and knocking stuff over all day, which I am prone to do. Really excited though for some stuff we got coming up. Where did this come from? Am I losing my mind? Yep, losing my mind. I get rambling. I'm going to try out a new setup for some future vids. Working on a custom Swiss Army knife for, believe it or not, my grandma wanted one for her birthday, which is coming up. And I've got, going to be working on that. I do some work here in the shop. I don't do dirty work here in the shop. So we got a new filming setup at my parents' house, where they have a little workshop in the basement I set up back in high school, and do some filming there from time to time. I just did some work upgrading kind of the setup, so hopefully we get some decent footage and some decent quality from a little more of the dirty work. You know, here I'll do some assembly and whatnot, but nothing crazy. We're going to dye some micarta scales, hopefully. Trying with some, trying to bleach them first. Because the last time I dyed them purple, it didn't work. Didn't take very well. So I'm going to try and bleach the scales down to a paler finish and then dye them purple. See if that works. You'll see the video if it works. If it doesn't work, you'll probably never see the video, because it'll just be me cussing over and over again. All right, finishing up. Am I finishing up? I thought I was finishing up. Yes. The last of these bad boys. How long have we been live? 34 minutes. So we're about halfway through the stream. Stick around. I need someone to keep me sane. Good to have these back in stock. I didn't get last week was kind of nuts. If I didn't mention that already, I I had a couple of days on a commercial shoot, Monday and Tuesday. And as a result, my whole week gets kind of thrown up in the air. Not in a bad way, but I have to choose what I spend my time on. And unfortunately, as of yet, these live streams don't make any money. So when I have a tight week, I tend to put aside the restock. In theory, my restocks should be bi-weekly, but I just split them up to kind of even out the workload. Otherwise, it'd be one easy Wednesday followed by one absurd Wednesday. So I split them up most weeks, but so we got quite a few to go through today, and got to get through them all. Can't put anything off because we've got a thing. If you guys are watching this now or after the fact, because these do go up on the channel later, we're working on the website on a resources page, and kind of the idea is to put some of the stuff that we don't sell but we really like, or some of the information that is helpful for you guys when you're working on multi-tools, modifying them or repairing them. Excuse me, sip of water. But you know, for instance, I'd love to do kind of I'm working on a chart that has kind of dimensions of all of the tools that I can get my hands on. And so it'd be something where we could have that information publicly available. So if you're you know, you want to do a mod, but you don't know if this is going to fit there, you can pull that information up on our resources page. But we're looking for stuff that we can put in that resources page. You know, we're thinking about a few things, but I want to hear from you guys. I'd love to hear from you guys what you would, what information you find useful when it comes to modifying multi-tools. So, for instance, the plan is to go with, as of right now, we have planned the tool dimensions. I want to do an overlay tool where you can lay the geometry, the locking geometry, over top of each other, so you can see what tools you might be able to fit together. I want to do what would be great is some shots of each tool and their layout, and label each tool, because that's a huge thing that people don't, you know, always they don't always get right when they reassemble, and then you have issues. I just worked with someone this week to get them the layout of a free P2. So I'd love to have stuff like that, all those kinds of resources that, you know, people can just jump on and find out that information. So if you guys have any ideas for that page, long story short, let me know in the comments down below, because we're going to be compiling a ton of stuff over the next couple of months or year, maybe. And love to have your guys' ideas. I know what I need when I'm modifying tools, but you know, you guys, I have a lot at my discretion. I can just reach out and measure a tool if I need it. I don't want, you know, people to be buying and returning parts all the time. Not that they are, but it's a barrier to entry for a lot of people. So if I can tell you, hey, that tool's 1.8 millimeters thick, you can go and measure your own tool and say, hey, that'll fit in for this. I can swap that can opener for the awl and have no, you know, surprises after the tool arrives. So if you guys have any ideas, drop them in the comments. Welcome in, everybody. Just getting these arcs, these Leatherman arcs dropped away. Surge, I do not, so our shipping to the UK can be limited. The way we do it is through the eBay International Shipping Program. And if you go to our site, at the bottom of the page, it says Shop on eBay. You can click that link, go to our store on eBay, and find all of the same products. The way that we do it, though, is that when we go through that program, there's some limitations. And what that means is that certain things, they get held up by that international shipping program because they think it's you know, dangerous goods or something like that. That happens with our multi-tool parts particularly. And unfortunately, we don't have the time or the intellect to circumvent that. But a lot of our stuff, so all of our, I think our sheaths are usually fine. And our, like our wrenches, our specialty tools, those all ship fine to the UK. I think it's about $15 for shipping usually to the UK or the EU. And they go, and we don't have a lot of issues with them. The alternative I recommend is to find a package forwarder. I know we have customers that do that. We've got no issue with that, where you could have it essentially shipped to somewhere in the US. They'll repackage whatever you order and ship it out to you in the UK. And those companies are much more well equipped to deal with the sort of the hurdles that you have to jump through with international shipping. It's unfortunate. It's something we're definitely trying to work around or work out, because I don't have all the information. I know that, you know, certain things I think should be fine aren't, and that's always disappointing. But I can't, without going in and manually deciding every single part, we have issues. Yeah, so definitely workarounds available. And I do encourage you to check out, you know, you might find better pricing from a package forwarder. I know one of the guys I follow, Bzoig on YouTube, he talks a lot about Black Ship, I think it is. And it's that's for shipping to the US from Japan. But it's an option, because it'll give you, or tools like that are a good option. God, I know how to ramble, don't I? Oh, what should we do? We're going to save these because you guys, that's boring. That's boring work. These are the bit kits. Make sure these all are the same, I suppose. They're, oh no, they are. I'm upside down. Sometimes I'm dumb. They look to be the same. I didn't check which one came out of the, Arc Obsidian, but I believe, oh, I got 3 more to check. They look the same. I'm assuming you're getting the same bits, but you can never just assume. You know what happens when you assume, right? All right, 3, do I have 4 bit kits? No, I should only 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 3 bit kits. Yeah, I guess that's right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. We'll put those in stock as well. Keep one of those. Alrighty. Jump into, how much time we got? 15 minutes. Let's do the surge real quick. Gotta switch bits without guarantees. I may have some news in the near future about bits. I just love these Vera bits. Kind of trying to expand into more of the, what I would consider the professional side, if such a thing exists. But those tools that are more oriented towards someone who's doing a lot of this, just because, frankly, it helps me out. You know, I don't know if I'm going to sell any of these professional specialty wrenches that I've created here. But you know what? I get to try it out. I've got a set for myself. We get to have a good old time with them. That's step one. And same for bits. But we also have stuff like, you know, the one-off wrenches that people like. And if you're only doing a couple, it's a better option for you. Let's see if we can... This guy popped out, huh? There he goes. Bada bing. Oh, God, I got washers falling everywhere. I just saw the movie Saturday Night last night. Just about the last 90 minutes before the first episode of Saturday Night Live premiered. And every time Nicholas Braun showed up as Andy Kaufman, I was dying laughing. I don't know what it was. I don't even, like, I think Andy Kaufman's one of the greats, but I've never, like, watched a lot of Andy Kaufman, and suddenly I'm just bursting out laughing in the theater every time the guy shows up on screen. And I've got the Mighty Mouse theme stuck in my head for the last 18 hours. If you're familiar with Andy Kaufman, you'll know why. And if not, this is a weird story this dude just told. Here I come to save the day. I am having a heck of a time. I think I lost a bronze washer, and I want to find a good clean one here. Okay, now we've got one. The Surge has a washer on each big tool plus an extra one for the saw. Is it almost lunchtime? It's almost lunchtime. Oh, I can tell. I'm running on fumes, guys. I'm just desperate to get these 3 tools dismantled before we go off air. Because if I go off air, I'm going to want to eat. A nice roast beef sandwich in the fridge. Ooh. We just lost half our viewers, guys. I started talking about lunch, and they all went, "Oh crap, I gotta eat." Oh, I'm dropping stuff. I lost my punch. Where'd it go? Oh, it's sitting in my lap still. Oh man. I think you say that every week, Serge. It's a good tool, man. It's a good tool. Make sure we get everything in the right spot. Got a little, oh, we're getting some, is the Surge too heavy for EDC? I don't know. It's too heavy for me, but hey, I think you can, if you can rock a Surge every day, man, you are prepared. Well, I want to pull my surge out because I have one sitting nearby. And I want to put it in my, I think I want to put it in my car kit. I don't know. I'm thinking about kits now all of a sudden. And all these multi-tools I've got sitting around. And like, well, what if we put them in kits and use them for, you know, use them for different things? What would I put where? And then I rabbit hole down that thing going, well, I put this tool in that kit. And then I end up starting to spend more money because I go, okay, now I need 2 surges because I definitely need a surge in the car kit, but I probably also need the surge, you know, in my construction kit. And I don't work construction. I just do it I do a little bit of minor stuff for mostly at my parents' house. And yeah, so it's a dangerous rabbit hole there. You start thinking about kits. But I think I need to put the surge in a kit, man. Price will be going down on these T-shank exchangers very, very soon. Oh, I did miss that. And I just found that washer that I was missing, of course. Serge, what do you do for work, if you don't mind me asking? I don't know if you ever watched the Ben over at the Texas Tool Crib. I know he, I think he does millwork? He's a millwright? Is that what it is? Works with metal. I think that's the term. But he carries a surge. I know, or he likes a surge at least. He talks about a surge a lot and has done a hefty amount of modifications to his. He does, he's got a really cool surge now that I assume he EDCs for work. Here I come to save the day. Two more. We can do this, guys. Landscaping. Okay. Yeah, surge could be handy for that. I found it was overkill for when I was doing a lot more work on video production sets, I guess. When I was doing grip work, I found the surge was a little overkill for what we were dealing with. We have it's a very unique kind of job because you usually have access to a truck pretty close by. You usually have access to, you know, and what you're dealing with most of the time is pretty minute, pretty small. You're not dealing with big stuff where the surge would be handy. So I downsized and finally kind of landed on the Arc as my go-to, but I think that surge needs to get back in the rotation, if I'm honest. And my Frankenwave. I had a wave that I did a lot of testing on, and now it's like half usable and half insane, and I need to break it back out, get it up to snuff, and get it back in the rotation. Might be a good video. Make an absolute buffoon of myself. next week. Actually, it might be a couple of weeks before we have our free P4s to restock. Actually, I have quite a few parts left for those. I said for the guys earlier, if you're joining the stream, there is free P4 multi-tools back in stock on Amazon right now, which if you've been in the market, you know they've been really, really hard to find. I don't know that it's because they're discontinued, but there have been rumors to that effect. So I'm trying to kind of spread that word that if you want them, now's the time to get them. There's an affiliate link down below if and you're interested. Yeah, it's a good tool, the P4. And it's, I mean, I think my favorite part is it's got a lot of modding potential with the Arc. That's why I think we sell a good amount of like the serrated blade sells a ton for whatever, because, not for whatever reason, but I think it's because you can put it on an Arc and the Arc doesn't come with a serrated blade. So it's a good find. It's at normal retail price. I think I've seen them on eBay for like $250 lately, which is absurd. But I missed out on the, where's that from? I missed out on the crunch back a while back, and I keep kicking myself for it. I'm desperately looking for one at a good price, but just can't justify the crazy markups that the scalpers are putting on right now. Here I come to save the day. Yeah, these are binding up on me today. I don't know what it is. Why we got the little thwacker? Get this at a surplus store up in Wisconsin, and I use it every time I take apart tools now. Great little thwacker. It's getting to be that time. If you guys missed anything, this live stream will be up on the channel. Usually I put it up Saturday mornings. Because you know you missed out, you know. We're having a party up in here. Oh God, the ratchet driver. Yeah, the ratchet driver on eBay. I don't even know what the price is, but it's absurd. It's absurd, and I just feel like it's just gonna go on forever, because it's gonna go on for a while, because they just can't get enough stock to go, you know, beyond what the scalpers are willing to buy. And then people give in and they pay scalper prices, and then perpetuates the cycle. Yeah, yeah, that's been another thing that's kind of on my list. If I saw them, I'd buy a bunch. I guess I wouldn't buy a bunch. I don't know if I'd buy a bunch. I'd buy one for myself, because you gotta have them, but I can't part that out, so it's not worth buying a bunch of. I see the free P4, I buy a bunch. Yeah. Oh yeah. Not available for 2 years. Yeah. I think it's been a while in the US too. They aren't restocking it enough. Which is like, when you can't keep up with demand to that level, even if it's going to scalpers as a company, like, I can't understand why you don't increase your production. I mean, the cost, you could raise the price. You'd still be under what scalpers are charging. I think there's been some, let me put it this way. If I had say in what Leatherman did as a company, I think there'd be a few changes in philosophy, you know. Got some things to say. I'd have some things to say in that first meeting. And now we got third-party ratchet drivers coming out. I don't know if you guys saw. I think HVAC Budget has a video on it. There's some third-party guys coming out with ratchet drivers, which is, I mean, of course, it's a more complicated mechanism than, so you don't know if the quality is going to be there, but they're just leaving money on the table. I don't see why you don't take advantage of that if you're Leatherman. You've got people willing to pay a lot more for this stuff, but instead, you know, let's raise the prices on the Arc and make a black version of it. I don't know. There's a lot of, I'm sure there's a ton of details behind the stage or behind the scenes. I don't know enough to, you know, completely criticize the tactics, but I just see money on the table and it makes my head hurt. But that's all I know, as my grandma says. Appreciate you guys watching. We'll catch you in the next video next week, Wednesdays. Jump on. Usually it's about 10, 11 a.m. Hope to see you then.